Ready Player One. Hey, I'm Mahogany, and joining me as always is Art and Art. We are Epic Loot Exotics, and we are live here with a clutch update for clutch 23-1. This is our first clutch of ball pythons for the year, and technically our first clutch together ever. I tried to breed in the early 90s, but now we're really getting into it for real. And this clutch was a fun one. I'm going to show you the sire, the dad, first, then the mom, and then we'll bring out the 4 babies and tell you what we think we got out of it. I'll probably also mention a little bit about genetics. This is the father of this clutch. His name is Ray, and he is a banana ball python, which you can tell from the coloration, the kind of banana colored look. I'm going to see if I can get a couple good looks at him right there. He is a beautiful fella. He is also het dreamsicle, which means he is het for piebald and het for lavender albino. We got him from Tom Harbin, and he had produced dreamsicles before, so we know that he's het for both of these, which means that all of the babies will have a 50% chance to be heterozygous for piebald and 50% chance to be heterozygous for lavender albino. And we don't know if we're going to bother getting any of them tested. We will probably just list them as 50% hets. In breeding, of course, half of the genes come from the mother, half of them come from the father, and there are different types of morphs. Banana is what's known as an incomplete dominant morph, which means that as long as one of the parents provides the gene, banana can be expressed, or will be expressed. If both parents provide the gene, you get what's called a super banana, which means it has 2 copies of the banana gene, and what that results in is like a super form of banana, which is significantly paler, is the primary way to tell it. Banana tends to get spotting on it like this, but depending on what genes you include when you're pairing it, you can have genes that increase the amount of spotting on the banana or decrease the amount of spotting on the banana. We're going to put him up, but now that you've got a good look at his colors, fortunately he's in this tub right behind my head. There you go, buddy. Go back and get some rest. The mother is this snake. I'm going to pull out.
Okay.
Yeah, I got her. Her name is Blossom. She is also banana, which means we're in a position where we have the banana gene present from both parents. She is not just banana, though. She has 2 other incomplete dominant traits. One is black pastel, and the other one is mahogany. And you can barely see any pattern along her side. I can't see the screen, so I'm assuming we're getting some good look there. As snakes age, they look their best and most clear when they are newly born, which we're going to show you in a minute. And then they kind of fade out a little bit for some of them. There are genes that you can put in that enhance things, that crisp up a pattern and maintain it. But this is banana, mahogany, black pastel. All 3 are incomplete dominants, which means only one of the parents needs to present it to the kid for it to be possibly display. We got her from Don Rhodes, and she's just lovely and sweet. And if she were to produce a baby that was banana, black pastel, and mahogany, all 3 of the genes that she carries, that baby would not look exactly like this now, and wouldn't even necessarily look exactly like this when it gets older. There is some variation in morphology. But you can see, I guess if I hold her up, you can see right along here, there's like darker and lighter, darker and lighter. You can just barely see her pattern. Hopefully it shows up on the screen pretty well. We're going to put her back up. No. You don't need to escape your tub. Your tub is your home. And so these 2 snakes got together, produced 4 eggs for us. And so all of the babies were likely to be banana, but not necessarily. In order for them to be banana, they would have to get the gene from either the father or the mother. Banana is a curious gene in that it is also sex-linked, which means if you have a male banana, it will they will sometimes call them male makers and female makers, meaning that it will predominantly, though not necessarily all the time, produce male makers make banana. Every banana that you see will be a male, and female makers, every banana you see will be a female, mostly. But that's only for male bananas that got their gene from a male banana down that line. If you have a male banana that got one from a female banana, then will be a female maker. And female bananas, which is what the mom is, can make either. We think we got lucky and got 4 females. I couldn't be happier, but we can't say for sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the camera down here. I'm going to start getting the babies, and I'm going to show you the 4 snakes we got and what we think they are. We'll show some comparisons as well. So this is baby number 1.
I want to make sure it doesn't, camera stays up, tightening this. Okay, should be good.
And can potentially zoom in, but I can also lift her up. We are pretty sure that this is just a banana ball python. See if I can get a good look at her up close. The coloration is a little more orangey and corally along the alien heads along here, but you'll see that they are fairly normal. There's a little bit of deformity which happens with bananas, including like having a hole along any of the dorsal presentation, but all of these you'll see right down to the tail look fairly normal. There's not a lot of stretching. There's not pixelation there's not pixelation in the alien heads. The majority of them look fairly typical with holes and everything else. Along the belly, you can see very clean, and let me double check her real quick here. I'm not especially good at this. She's moving a little too much for me to keep her on camera while I try and do this, but boom, come on. Yeah, we're pretty sure we got a girl here. There we go, good job. What we're doing there is we're attempting to invert what would be hemipenes on a male. And so this is just a normal banana. The first person we showed her to thought that perhaps she was a little darker and that this might be the mahogany coming through, but we are convinced that the mahogany would probably change the pattern a little bit more. And when you look at the colors on her compared with others, a few things become much more clear. So let me get one of her siblings out of there to set right next to her. This is what we think is a super banana. You can see how much more pale she is, but all of these just shed within the last 24 hours. So they're not in shed. They are as clean and pristine as they're going to be. We are virtually certain that what you're seeing here is a regular banana and a super banana, thus the more muted, almost hypo looking form. And we believe this super banana is also mahogany, because if you start to look at the pattern along the sides, you can see that the alien heads there are significantly more misshapen. There's not a lot of pixelating going on in there, but you'll find isolated heads, inverted teardrops, and a little bit of dragging towards the tail, where the pattern tends to stretch out a bit. And so, here we go. Come here. That's your buddy. We believe both of these are girls. This is a regular banana. This is a super banana that is also mahogany. Thank you for nobody biting me. I'm going to grab one more. This one and the fourth one, we believe are exactly the same, and I'll show you both of them in just a moment. This is what we believe to be a banana that is also at least black pastel. It's possible that it's black pastel and mahogany. It is very difficult for us to tell, but you can see the difference in the coloration. I'm going to put up the regular banana now that we've got a really good shot of showing the difference in coloration between them. So there's the regular banana. We'll put you back up. And we will put up our Super Banana Mahogany. And I'll try to explain why we're convinced that that's Super Banana Mahogany instead of Super Banana Black Pastel as I show you this one, which we are certain is at least Banana Black Pastel, possibly Banana Black Pastel Mahogany, and I'll show you the other one that looks identical to her, or nearly identical. So you have kind of a lavenderish color going down the side. All the colors are amplified. You don't have a strong dorsal stripe, you have a broken one. And although near the tail, it turns into a dorsal stripe. And if you look at the alien heads, they are very misshapen. And they have pixelation, some spiral breaks, and some stretching near the tail where the individual alien heads start to stretch out towards there. Not enough that I would consider this to be Black Pastel Mahogany. I'm pretty sure this is just Banana Black Pastel. And I'm going to grab the other one that we believe is the same. So you can see their coloration side by side. These are both Banana Black Pastel. Just amazing. Look at it. Look at the pattern on the side of that, how Black Pastel not only darkens the stripe in between, but really breaks that up. These are, I mean, there's very little you could hope for that would be better than this, except to add in something like Inchy or Yellow Belly that is going to increase the orange and yellow, kind of pop it up a little. Something like Enhancer or Desert Ghost that might make it crisper. But these are Banana Black Pastel. I'm going to let this one sit here for just a minute so you can see that. And we will put her sister up. You got her?
Yep.
All right. And yeah, so that's the 4 babies that we got out of Clutch 23-1. You can see some interesting patterns. I can see it on screen. It does not look the same on screen as it does in person. It is similar, but not quite. When I get it into the shadow, maybe it looks a little better. You're gonna go up there and stick your face in the camera? In any case, those are the 4 babies. They shed out in the last 24 hours. We then removed them from the incubator where they had been staying together, and we have put all of them in their hatchling tubs, and we will be feeding them probably later today. We're going to try and feed them. I gave them little caps with water, and we're going to be handling them a lot. One of the things you make sure you do with new hatchlings. Wow, it looks weirder on camera, and yet really gorgeous too. But in person, it's just gorgeous. But you want to handle them frequently so that they get used to being handled, so that they're going to make good pets for people. These have all been outstanding. None of them have even attempted to bite. And we will let you know once they've eaten. We will finish getting our Morph Market page set up and starting to book. Whoops, I put that one in backwards. Starting to book our table space at reptile events around our area in Texas. Yeah, you can try it back on me. And we will get you updates on what's going on with Epic Loot Exotics. And in the near future, I'm probably, because I love doing live, like we're doing live now. I don't know, have we got questions?
Let me look. I had it on
yeah, she was
the
looking
camera
at
thing so I could control the focus. How big do they get full grown?
How big do they get full grown? Grab Laverne. We're going to show you our biggest, our absolute biggest, and I think she's like 3,800 grams.
So this is a little bit of an extreme example.
Yeah. So this is fully grown. She is a lavender albino pinstripe that is about 3,800 pounds, or pounds, grams, maybe 7 pounds or something like that. And not the same morph as the little ones, but this is as big as they get. Here, let me show you. Here, you can take her back. I already showed you the mom. And so you can see full size what that mom's like. But let me just grab a... I'm looking around to see if I get another typical... Well, let me show you the mom from the next clutch that's going to hatch. So, honey, if you can move the mic back just a little bit, I'll get to Miranda's drawer.
Yep.
So this is Miranda, and we bought her. And the person we bought her from told us that she hadn't been bred. But when we went to take her out of quarantine, there were 7 eggs, which means she had been bred, or it was a parthenogenic reproduction, but we're pretty sure. We talked to the individual. She is a pastel, lemonback, gravel female. And she gave us 7 eggs. And they will be hatching next week, next Tuesday, next Wednesday at the latest. So we'll be doing, stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can see the egg cutting video that we'll do next week when her eggs start hatching. Because it's going to be our greatest mystery. Because she was actually paired with 2 different snakes, which I don't have memorized, but I have them listed from the individual who sold her to us. She's a fully grown mom that produced 7 eggs. She weighs about 15, 16, 1700 grams, something in that neighborhood. And her particular genes being Pastel, which is a lightning kind of yellowing, Lemonback, which is another kind of lightning yellowing, and Gravel, which is part of the superstripe complex. So she has 2 different allelic genes that aren't allelic with each other, but are part of allelic complexes, which I'll go through, probably do a live in the next few days to talk about allelic complexes, incomplete doms, recessives. But Lemonback is part of the black-eyed leucistic group, along with vanilla and fire and flame and sulfur, I think. And Gravel is part of the superstripe complex, along with Spectre Spark, Yellow Belly, etc. And I love the fact that she's staring me down. Look at this.
Well, she's blind currently. She's in shed, so I don't know if she knows where she's looking.
So anyway, what it means is, if we pair her, now we don't know what we're going to get out of her this year, because we didn't pair her, and we could get some freeways from those. But we bought her specifically to pair with Al. Al is a super vanilla, orange dream, yellow belly. Al, put together with this snake right here, can produce vanilla lemonbacks, which are an allelic combination similar to a vanilla scream, but a little bit different. Because they both have orange dream, we could get super orange dream babies as well. And because she's Gravel and Al is yellow belly, that could be highways. So we could get super orange dream, vanilla scream-ish, that's not technically correct, but something in the black-eyed leucistic combination, highways. All from pairing this snake to Al. And that's the reason I bought her. And we're happy to have her. And the 7 eggs that she gave us will be hatching next week. And so it's going to be... We're almost more excited for the surprise eggs that she gave us than some of the ones that we set up pairings for. Because we could get some really, really nice snakes out of that pairing. And I can't wait to tell the breeder that sold her to us what they are. Anything else?
The only other question was, are there different types of sheds?
Different types of sheds.
I mean, you could say like good and bad, and sometimes hypo, there's something, an effect on the sheds, but not really. That's
fair. Basically, shedding is just getting rid of the outer layer of skin. Rare Genetics Incorporated is now able to do genetic testing for some morphs by getting bits of shed and then doing genetic testing on them. What I look for in sheds typically is just, I want them to come off in one piece. Let's see.
I have an old shed here.
Okay, so this is a shed from Ariana, I believe, which came off in one piece. We don't need to keep it. We're not going to get her genetically tested. But if it comes off in one piece like this, where you're down to everything around the eyes, all the way to the tip of the tail, then you have pretty good indicator that your snake's healthy, that the husbandry stuff's right, so that the humidity's right to help them shed. But every snake is a little bit different. And so while the humidity and temperature is identical between these tubs, or nearly identical, hey Bam Bam, what you doing, buddy? I'm looking to see, I can't get to Sonny Boy, who I know had a rough shed. I was looking to see if there was anybody here handy who had just had kind of a rough shed. I don't think there is. But,
somebody asked to see a hognose.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely show you a hognose.
Just for fun, they said.
Just for funs. So yeah, that's what you're looking for. What I've heard is that for snakes that are hypomelanistic, that the sheds will be blank. Like you won't be able to see any real pattern on it.
I can try to get a focus if you want to get her close. Oh, it did it automatically.
That is a super conda or super anaconda, but super conda is preferred, so it doesn't you don't confuse it with like the name of an actual snake. An albino super conda, western hognose snake. She won't be ready to breed for another year and a half probably. But she is easily one of our best hogs. She doesn't really hiss a lot, doesn't really do bluff strikes, makes no attempt, none of them have made any real attempt to bite. She doesn't play dead. She doesn't musk. She doesn't hood up. She is the least hog-nosy of all of our hog-noses and is just, I mean, really pretty. And is there one we can show where it's got patterns so they can see the difference?
Sure. I can grab how about I get Legolas so you can see some color and pattern? Or would you like Lilith?
It doesn't matter. What's the purpose of the shedding? Well, as they grow, their skin expands. Hey, buddy. There we go. This one's got more pattern so you can see. And so their skin, the outer layer of skin is shed off as they grow to fill the space underneath it. Wow, you're wired. See what I mean about how wiry? Running around. Will not stay in my hands. Doesn't want to be on camera. Has a really cool belly.
Pooped all over his enclosure, so I'm getting that while you're handling him.
There we go. Anyway, put him back. And that's it. We are working on several other things. I'll be getting some live genetic discussions, some discussions about pairing, pricing, sales. We are going to pick up another rack because this one's completely full. And I found somebody who's no longer going to be breeding who gave us an amazingly good deal on one. So we're going to be doing that, and we'll rework this room. But also, we have crested geckos. Hey, hand me the eggs, the newest eggs.
These are the newest ones.
Yeah. So these eggs we just found yesterday, actually. Let's see if I can unwrap these. I may not be able to get
these ones are a little easier if you want to show these.
That's much better. So these are eggs from crested geckos. We now have, what, 8 or 10?
There's probably like 6 viable pairs. Or no, 8 viable pairs.
8 pairs? No, 8 total.
Yeah, sorry, 8
pairs.
Total.
Crested geckos lay eggs in pairs.
Not so sure that one's as viable as I thought, but you know.
Okay. So I'll touch on this really quickly, and then we'll try and wrap up. We have 3 lily white females breeder crested geckos, and we have 2 big males, and then we have 1 red dowel girl that is not yet ready to breed. The male that we got with the lily white crested geckos had a hole on his hemipenal bulge, which basically you can look at it like
pair of balls.
Like a pair of balls. That's not quite what it is. It is a bag at the base of their tail where their hemipenis is stored. And it had a hole. And that hole got infected before we ever got the gecko at all. And Arden removed maggots that had been in there debriding the wound. We cleaned it all up, doctored him up. He is almost completely healed. Right now there's just a teeniest little kind of scab left there. But we don't know if he'll ever actually be able to breed again. We're going to try, and he's wonderful. He's sweet. He's very pretty. And if he's able to breed, we'll start by breeding with that red-tailed girl when she grows up. That'll give him a year and some change to kind of heal up. And if not, then he'll just be a pet for us, probably, or possibly somebody else. And so, yeah, we've got a handful. We bought a replacement male breeder that is a super Harlequin, or no, not super Harlequin, extreme Harlequin. I don't know what else. We stumbled into crested geckos. I can tell you all about ball pythons and ball python genetics. We also have a number of colubrids, including...
technically not a colubrid.
Technically more closely related to an elapid. Here, if I can get him. Come here, buddy. Wow.
Here.
I can't open the thing enough to get him out. So we'll go, this is a black African house snake. We haven't started breeding these yet. This mom is probably about a year. Next year should probably be proper size. But we also have a T-negative albino breeding pair that are in quarantine right now. That'll be part of next year's as well. So we have hognose snakes, black African house snakes. We have one brown African house snake. We have a pair of T-negative albino house snakes. We have two normal corn snakes that laid 18 eggs that'll be hatching here in about a month. And we have two amelanistic and possibly amelanistic hypostripe corn snakes as well that we don't, well, that produced 4 eggs, all of which went bad. And so we're hoping that next year, it was her first time breeding, so we're hoping next year that goes better. Any other last minute questions?
There was a question about lights on the rack, but it was just like no lights on the rack, question mark.
Oh, there's not lights in the rack, but they don't spend their entire life. We handle our snakes regularly, and we have a playpen. We also have heating lights and stuff like that so that they can get UVB and other stuff. It's not critical, but they, like anything else that, reptile that eats, they can benefit from it. But yeah, no, the lights, there are holes in the top for both ventilation and lighting, so it's not pitch black inside, but ball pythons live in enclosure or live in tight, dark spaces anyway. So anyway, is that it?
Yep.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. So excited. I'm gonna show one more, just one more. I am so excited about this particular clutch, especially the fact that we have banana black pastel babies that are just gorgeous. That might almost be, I'm tempted to say that instead of this being banana black pastel, it could be super banana black pastel mahogany, and that double dark is what's making it kind of brighten up. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's banana black pastel. And so we're also going to get some people who've done this more than us to review the determinations we've made. And we're going to be taking some really good pictures of them so that we can do full-on comparisons of them. But thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back soon with more stuff on genetics, more egg cutting, more first shed hatchling videos. Bye-bye.